It took her 10 years to take her daughter back, and less than 3 days to kill her. London, 1856. On a quiet street in Islington stood a respectable home, ordinary in every way, but behind its doors lay a crime so disturbing even Victorian London struggled to understand it. It was Saturday, February the 16th, 1856. A heavy winter fog clung to the rooftops of Islington, drifting between chimneys and settling into the narrow streets below. Coal smoke thickened the air, seeping into every corner of the neighborhood. Halfway down Linton Street stood number 18, a modest 3-story terrace, clean, orderly, and entirely unremarkable. The kind of house no one would ever suspect. But that night, something inside it would quietly shatter that illusion. Inside, Mrs. Celestina Sommer moved carefully between the rooms. She was 28 years old, educated, refined, and known for her skill as a pianist. The daughter of a respected silversmith, she had been raised in comfort and trained in the expectations of polite society. She had performed in London halls, dressed in elegance, and moved among the respectable classes with ease. But that life felt distant now. Her clothing had grown simpler, darker, more restrained. Her posture remained composed, but there was a tension beneath it, subtle but constant. Her movements were precise, almost too precise. Her husband, Carl Sommer, a Prussian craftsman, spent long hours at his workshop shaping silver for wealthy clients. Their marriage was respectable and outwardly stable, but it was not warm, and lately it had not been peaceful. Because hidden beneath their orderly life was something neither her husband nor their neighbors fully understood. 10 years earlier, everything nearly collapsed. At 17, Celestina became pregnant, an event that in Victorian England meant far more than scandal. It meant social ruin. So when the child was born, a decision was made. The infant was quietly sent away to a woman in Hackney, Mrs. Julia Harrington, who was paid to raise children like her, out of sight and out of mind. And for a time it worked. The child grew up in a different home, living a simple and quiet life. She learned, she laughed, and she belonged, never knowing the truth of where she came from. Until, without warning, everything changed. In February of 1856, Mrs. Sommer arrived to take her back. There was no emotional reunion, no warmth, no attempt to bridge the years that had been lost. It was simply a decision, sudden and final. The reason was practical. She could no longer afford the payments, and the girl, now 10 years old, was considered old enough to work. Within 3 days, she would be dead. The child arrived at number 18 on Thursday, February 14th. She entered a house that felt unfamiliar in every way. The narrow hallway, the quiet rooms, the woman before her who was in name her mother. But there was no embrace, no reassurance, only quiet instruction. She sat where she was told, spoke only when addressed, and watched as the rhythms of this new household unfolded around her. But she was not the only one watching. Rachel Mott, the 16-year-old maid, noticed the change immediately. She saw how the child barely spoke, how she lingered uncertainly in doorways, and how Mrs. Sommer kept her distance, offering neither comfort nor familiarity. There was a tension in the house now, subtle but undeniable. and though she could not explain it, she felt it clearly. Something was wrong. On Saturday afternoon, Mrs. Sommer visited her neighbor, Mr. Charles Grover, bringing the child with her. She explained that she had secured a position for the girl at a greengrocer and was on her way to deliver her there. It sounded reasonable, but something about it unsettled him. So after she left, he followed at a distance. What he saw troubled him. She did not go toward any shop. Instead, she turned and walked directly back to Linton Street, returning to the house she had just left. It would be the last time the child was seen alive. That night, the house fell into an uneasy quiet. Rachel Mott lay awake in her attic room when she heard the front door open, then close again. Footsteps followed, measured, deliberate. Then came voices. At first they were indistinct, but gradually they grew sharper. A child's voice, uncertain, afraid. Mrs. Sommer's voice, low, controlled. And then, suddenly, a cry. The child shouted that someone wanted to cut her throat. Rachel froze in her bed, listening. Moments later, the word murder rang out, once, then again and again, each time more desperate than the last. The sounds that followed were chaotic, then fading. A final choking breath. And then, silence. Morning arrived, grey and cold. The house felt wrong, too still, too quiet. Drawn by a growing sense of dread, Rachel made her way to the cellar door. She hesitated only briefly before opening it. The steps descended into darkness. Slowly she made her way down, and at the bottom she saw the child. Her small body lay motionless on the stone floor, her throat cut, her eyes open and fixed on nothing. When the police arrived, the house began to reveal its secrets. In the cellar, they found the body. Upstairs, hidden beneath a bed, they discovered a black gown, washed but still marked with faint traces of blood. Mrs. Sommer remained composed, almost unnaturally so, until eventually she spoke. She confessed that she had killed the child because her husband would no longer pay for her upkeep. At the Old Bailey, the case moved quickly. The evidence was clear, the testimony direct. The jury deliberated for just 15 minutes before returning a verdict of guilty. The sentence was death. It seemed for a moment that the story would end there, but it didn't. On the morning set for her execution, a reprieve arrived. Her sentence was commuted. No explanation was given, no reason made public. And across London, people began to ask why. Celestina Sommer was sent first to prison and later to an asylum, where her mental and physical health steadily declined. She died there at the age of 31. Her life ending quietly, far from the society she had once fought so hard to remain part of. Over time, the case faded from memory. The house at Linton Street remained, its rooms filled by new families who knew nothing of what had once happened below. Doors opened, fires burned, life continued, and beneath it all, the truth remained buried. Because sometimes the most dangerous place for a child is not the world outside, but the home they are brought into.